My name is Robert Casely. I'm the playwright for Happy, receiving its rolling world premiere at New Jersey Repertory Company. I teach playwriting at the University of Idaho. I run the graduate playwriting program there and have been there for 12 years now. I get a chance to talk about playwriting all day long. And if I can't be writing plays, which is my favorite thing to do in the whole world, my second favorite thing is to talk to other playwrights about writing plays. So I found that since I've been teaching, it's been a wonderful encouragement and inspiration to my own work.
My name is Mark Lightor. I'm originally from Phoenix, Arizona. I went to school in Boston and at Penn State, and now I live in New York. I've done several readings here at New Jersey Rep, but this is my first main stage production.
Well, I'm Michael Irvin Pollard. I'm a company member here and have been for many years, and have done quite a few shows here. The last one I did here was Release Point, which was last fall, a world premiere by Gino Diorio. Since then I did a half-hour one-man show for Emerging Artists Theater in New York, and now I'm here doing this.
Hi, my name is Susan Maris. I am originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I have been in New York for several years doing downtown theater, equity showcases, and then interweaving regional work into that. And I've done several seasons at the Shakespeare Theater of New Jersey. I'm a company member there. So my connections there sort of led me to NJ Rep. And Happy is my first show here. Everyone seems so lovely. I love being in New Jersey. I live in Brooklyn. I've been there for about 4 years.
I'm Wendy Peace, and I'm originally from Toronto, Canada, where I went to the University of Toronto and studied there, and first appeared as Molly in The Mousetrap, which ran for over 25 years in Toronto. And then I moved to New York City and became a member of the Mint Theater, which was a great experience. And after a few years in New York City, I had a wonderful opportunity to go to Iceland and play and coach hockey. And I couldn't resist, so I went over and lived in Iceland for a year. Then I lived in Norway for a couple of years, playing and coaching hockey as well. And then New York drew me back, and I continued with the acting. So I ended up at New Jersey Rep, which was fabulous, did some of the staged readings, and then Suzanne casted me in The Housewives of Mannheim. So that was an amazing journey. We ended up going off-Broadway with it, as well as Indianapolis and Santa Barbara. So that was a lot of fun. Since then, I've ended up in London, England. So I've been working there. Just did Claudius in an all-female Hamlet, as well as a one-woman show up at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. I've been lucky to play hockey there as well. And now I'm back in New Jersey for a couple of months. Unfortunately, I couldn't bring my hockey equipment with me because you're only allowed one bag, so I had to choose, but it was a tough choice. But I look forward to being back at New Jersey Rep because it really does feel like home.
And I think I was really fortunate that NNPN is supporting this project, and feel very fortunate that New Jersey Rep is going to do the world premiere.
The kind of roles I play are usually whatever they'll hire me to do. So I've certainly done my share of leading man work, but I do a lot of character stuff, especially now that I'm getting a bit older. I also have a background in music, so I do a lot of musicals. Again, whatever I'm hired to do, I show up for.
Some of my favorite roles have been Rose of Sharon and the Grapes of Wrath. I'm about to play Imogen in Cymbeline, which I'm very excited about. Hermia in A Midsummer Night's Dream. I did a really fun role in a play called The Servant of Two Masters by Carlo Goldoni that I had a lot of fun with.
I think probably if you were to look at my last 5 or 6 plays, they're fairly similar. They take place all in interiors, single settings, small group of characters working out one essential problem. But in the past, I've written all kinds of plays. I tend to write in a comic voice, I think. This play has a kind of darkness to it. Early on in my career, I wrote historical plays. And of course, you know, the old joke in Hollywood is, you know, who does history but the historians. So I abandoned writing historical plays about 10, 15 years ago and moved toward contemporary drama comedies. and this is one such example.
I've done a lot of work in regional theaters. I've worked at, just off the top of my Milwaukee Rep, the Fulton Opera House in Lancaster, the Engelman Theater in Northport, the Pioneer Theater Company. I've done a couple of national tours. I've done 9 seasons of the Utah Shakespearean Festival. That's been an artistic sort of home for me for a long time. I have a lot of experience with classical theater, actually. And roles range from, Captain Von Trapp in The Sound of Music to Josh in Jericho down at Florida Studio Theater, which the audiences here might remember. I believe was quite a success here too, and that was a great role and great production down there. I've been at this for a while, and again, whatever jobs I get, that's what I show up for. So
I knew Wendy we had done a reading together before, and we'd also overlapped as company members down here before, but we never really worked together on a production. I had met Mark. We also did a reading together before, but it was so long ago, we hardly even remembered it. It was probably almost 10 years ago. So we really haven't worked together, practically strangers. And Susan I just met at the audition, so I didn't know her at all. So that was sort of exciting also, to come in with fresh people in a familiar surroundings, but fresh people is always a little stressful, but also exciting, anxious.
I've been lucky to do a couple. I did a Deborah Brevoort play, The Poetry of Pizza. That was an original play as well. And then, of course, The Housewives of Mannheim. I've also done a lot of Shakespeare. Love the classics.
Right.
So I've been very lucky to do Lady Macbeth twice. Oh no, I just said the M word.
Most of it has been in New York City. This is my first regional new work, I guess. I've done a lot of classical theater, so this is exciting, and it's going to be challenging in all the right ways.
Suzanne and Gabriel put together a terrific cast and a wonderful design team. We had a chance to preview the scenic and costume designs yesterday, and I'm really excited about the potential of the project.
I know the director, of course, Suzanne, having worked with her before, and I didn't know the playwright, but he's an amazing writer and really a wonderful, funny guy. And I knew Michael Irvin Pollard, and I haven't worked with Susan or Mark before, but already we can tell we were cooking at the table yesterday at the reading, so it's definitely going to be a great ensemble, and I think the chemistry is definitely there.
I have no roots in New Jersey. I moved to New York about 15 years ago, and I've certainly come across the river to do work here and so on. But I have no family or anything, but certainly enough acquaintances that will come and see me from across the river.
I just have a really good vibe from the group, from the play, from our first day yesterday. I think it's going to be a very, very appealing show. And but not light, not fluffy. There's depth to it, and so I think it's going to be very well appreciated by this audience here.
I met everyone yesterday. Well, I met Suzanne at the audition. I had come out to audition for another play here. I didn't get that one, and then she called me in to audition for Happy, and it worked out. It just the material and the energy between the two of us really worked out. I'm very excited to work with her and the cast. I feel like this show has been impeccably cast, and the playwright has done a great job with the script. Meeting him has been a real treat. Having him here at rehearsal for the last 2 days has been incredibly valuable.
I can't wait to come back. I'm just here for a few days working with the cast and the director, just around the table for the first few days of rehearsal, but I'll be back to see the show in its entirety when it opens, and I'm really excited about that prospect.
What's also really cool is the playwright plays hockey, and so do I, so I automatically feel this connection with him. He also spent time in Canada, very close to where I grew up, ironically, and he's from England, which I'm living where I'm living now. So there's a simpatico going on.
Usually when you read a play, you can tell immediately if it's, or I should say, it'll either speak to you immediately or it won't. And this is one of those plays that as soon as you read it, you know what's going on. you know the character and you can really relate to it. So sometimes that's not the case, but in this case it was. So I loved it immediately. I think I read it in like 20 minutes. It was a really quick read. It's a very propulsive piece, and I read it and loved it right away, so I knew I wanted to do it.
I feel like there is a lot of synchronicity between this play and my life, and I'm sure many people that see the play will see that as well, will feel that. I think that the goal with good art, with good literature, with good plays, is that people can find the synchronicity and go home and say, wow, that really helped illuminate this situation in my life. I feel like I really responded to this chunk of the show, or hopefully all of it, but revealing life is what's important for me, so that people can go home and maybe be a little bit more prepared to deal with their evening the next day. They'll think about the show next week and feel enlightened and hopefully happy.